Today, gonna be speaking with Jeremy, and I'm pretty excited. Known Jeremy a while. I think you've been in the group for quite a while, and today we're gonna go over primarily meta ads, but then one piece of his presentation that I thought was really cool that we kind of title around was just 7 aspects that successful and scalable ecom businesses have in common. So on that note, Jeremy, I know you made a presentation, so I'll go ahead and let you share your screen, give an introduction, and we'll kind of dive in and chit chat.
Cool. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. And I just want to piggyback on what Justin was saying. Those small group things, I've been to one, and honestly, the amount of value that's getting tossed around in those groups is equivalent to what I've seen get tossed around in $5,000 and $10,000 masterminds. So if you're not going to those and your business isn't having the success that you're wanting, you're missing out big time. I highly recommend you guys sign up. It's huge value, and there's some really high level stuff and actionable items going on in there.
I will say this on that note. There's a lot of people that have been on the calls, that I was surprised. I personally was surprised with what I saw, like just big gaping holes of like, wow, you guys didn't think of this. And part of it becomes you're so close to what you're marketing and you're advertising that you can't see it. You're too attached to the product. And it was like, wow, I was thinking in my head, like, wow, I thought that guy was, but I'm sure if somebody came in and audit my stuff, it would be the same way, because they would get too comfortable. We're not pushing hard enough, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was very surprising to me. So definitely take advantage of it.
Absolutely, man. Cool. Well, I was actually organized here, and I put together a presentation to try to get as much value across as possible to everyone in the group. I think there's going to be something for beginners all the way to the super advanced. So I'm going to share my screen and start up the PowerPoint. Justin, you can confirm that you can see my screen.
Good to go.
Okay. Yeah, just shout out if anyone has questions. Feel free to stop me, clarify anything, add in your input. I know you're an expert in this realm yourself, and so my goal here is to provide as much value as possible in 7 aspects of successful, scalable ecom businesses have in common. I'm going to tell you a little bit about more who I am, but one of my gigs is the lead media buyer for an ecom scaling agency. We scale businesses from 7 to 9 figures and group them into to get higher valuations, and we sell them. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So first of all, who I am. Some of you in the group know me, some of you don't, but I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and some of my creds. I'm going to move through this pretty quick, and excuse my voice. I've been fighting off a little bit of a cold the last 5-6 days. But I am a father, family man, musician, and Colorado native. Father and family man first. There is my partner Tiffany and my 10-year-old son Freedom, and me in my Facebook shirt from many years ago, actually. I'm a 13-year digital marketing veteran. 10 of those years have been on Facebook ads. Specifically, I think Justin, you and I have this in common. I started off in SEO and video SEO and got really good at that, and then found Facebook, was all in. About $20 million direct Facebook ad spend management. That's in addition to teams I've managed, but that's what I've done myself with e-commerce especially. I've also done lead gen and live events, still do. As I mentioned, I'm the currently lead media buyer for an e-com scaling agency. I've spoken on multiple stages across the US. I'm a consultant to other Facebook ad agencies. They fly me in and I look through their ad accounts and teach their employees how to better serve those clients and get better results. I have a really good relationship with Facebook, or Meta itself. I'm just going to call it Facebook because I'm old school. I've been an alpha and beta tester for a lot of their programs, been to private roundtables with their top people, member of their SMB Council 2016, founding member of the Boost with Leaders Network, and recent SMB Ads Ecosystem Committee member. In fact, one of their top 5 VPs recommended me to his own brother to help him with his e-commerce business, and this, like the VP of product. He's actually now the VP of biz messaging. Scale a lot of businesses from scratch to 7 figures. As I mentioned, I'm now scaling businesses 7 to 9. Recently was a keynote speaker for Meta's SMB Performance Summit, which is a lot of the content I'm going to cover here. I co-hosted an event with Facebook, and I actually ran ads for them after I noticed errors in their ads and them not getting very good results themselves. Been featured in lots of publications, I actually lobbied Congress and the government and regulators out in DC in 2018 for the rights of SMB users to use Facebook. We have a lot of old codgers in Congress that have no idea what Facebook even is, trying to regulate it. So went out there and stood on our behalf.
So there's
A
two
few more of
questions.
my, what's that?
I have two questions. One,
Yeah.
if your profile got shut down today, could you call somebody and get it back right away? Do you have those kinds of connections?
I could message the VP of product at Facebook and
Going in
close.
you went in my Rolodex.
Yeah, I have to put a gate around that just because I get a lot of those requests. But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I know the SM head of SMB North America as well, and she pushes things through for me.
I had a page, not a funny story, but I had a page that was banned. I don't even know why they banned it, but they reviewed it. It was on that last big ban wave, and they reviewed it and they denied the appeal. So like, I actually went and found the head of compliance on Twitter, and I messaged him, and he took care of it and got it on a ban, which I was surprised he even responded. And I think at the time he did, because this was before Mr. Ding Dong came on and changed all of the verifications, but I have a blue check mark on Instagram. So I think that gave me a little bit of clout that he was like, oh, this guy's verified. Like
nice.
Must be legit. So yeah, I got it back.
That's smart.
And I had another issue like happen a week later, and I sent him a message and he blew me off. So
right. You knew you were going to message him all the time.
Yeah.
Another little tip for just everyone out there, you can do that. You can go to LinkedIn and try to hit up Facebook employees and direct messages. Also, there's a group I'm part of. It's fairly high level for a Facebook sponsored group. It's called the Meta Advertiser Growth Forum, and they've got a escalated level of support. It's not like what I can do through some of my other connections, but I had a client business manager go down and they got it back up within like 24 hours for me. So
what's the name of the group?
Meta Advertiser Growth Forum, I believe. I'd have to verify that, but
yeah,
something
Facebook
like that.
It's just really weird. Like I'm even in a group where it's for power admins of big groups, and it's ran by Facebook, and I'm in that group, and it's just really weird because not everybody has it. Like I'm in that group, and for example, I don't have an add everyone tag. I realized that on our mastermind call, but like people that have a group of 500 people have it and can tag everyone. So it's just, there's like no consistency with anything at Facebook, as you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're a big organization.
Cool.
So let's move on. I've launched products. I've appeared live on Facebook's business page, which is probably the most nervous I've ever been to speak, just because there was like a following of 12 million people, and obviously not every single follower was on there. But my perception was, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have like 1 million people watching me, and made it through. And then I spoke for them on International Women's Day, and that picture is me. Facebook headquarters. The first time I went out in 2016, I met Sheryl Sandberg, and there is the time I met Zuckerberg himself. If you look right in the middle of the picture, the tall dude next to him is Zuckerberg. Next to Zuckerberg is me. He seemed like a really good guy. I mean, he was really committed to social cause. He spoke in front of the small group. He had little nervous idiosyncrasies like the rest of us. Just kind of a regular person, obviously with a few more $1 billion in his pocket than us, but definitely seemed like a real person, not a reptilian or alien like some people claim.
He does look different in there. When you see me, it looks like he stands out, that he's just like this robot or something. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, people were really drawn to his energy. Everyone was trying to crowd in, but the only thing, funny story, the only thing that, and no dogging on him at all anyway, the thing that kind of surprised me is I was one of two people that shook his hand in the room, and immediately I was like, photo op. I went right to him, and he actually came right to me. Well, I shook his hand. He did not have a real firm handshake, which was surprising to my expectations of what I would consider a billionaire, like a deca-billionaire like Zuckerberg to have. But anyway, it was a good experience. There's me with another goat right there down in Miami about a year ago with Tim. Great mastermind. Had a great time partying and learning from Tim. Little my story, just there's so many people in this group, and sometimes we don't know the individual stories of each person. So I want to share a little bit about me so I can relate to you as a human being. I started off in landscape horticulture. There's a plan I drew, had a landscape design, build, maintenance business with my family. Actually graduated from landscape horticulture in '99 from Colorado State University. Took me 7 years to get a bachelor's because the first 3 years I was open option and drinking beer and meeting women. But my dad started a landscape business. I already knew how to speak Spanish. So I said, what the hell, I'm going to go into landscaping. Got really good at it. If I had more time, I'd show you pictures of the landscapes we did, but don't have time. But I was working 80, 100 hours a week. And I was super stressed. I was super unhealthy. I was taking anxiety meds to face the day, doses that would probably kill me now, drinking heavily, taking pills, chewing, smoking 10 Red Bulls a day, coffee, like literally at the end of my rope, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I was on a landscape bid one day. I think it was 2009-ish, 10-ish. And the guy asked me, what are your passions? I didn't remember. I looked over at Long's Peak here in Colorado. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I truly didn't remember. And that day I kind of had a right brain shift. I said, you know what? I'm going to get back to being happy and successful. And no matter what I do, I got really obsessive about personal development, studied marketing day and night. I get to the point where I was draining my life savings to learn marketing, get out of and change realms. Actually started by in network marketing. And then I started providing leads to network marketers in a program called MLSP. But there was times I would be making a pot of coffee at 11 at night, work until 2. My fiance at the time would pull me off my computer to sleep for 3-4 hours, get back up. I had no choice. Found the right mentor. Some of you might know my Facebook mentor, Kurt Molly. He has the belt method. Super genius dude. He's still in the business, but I was really excited about this new venture, but it was nerve-wracking. My soon to be wife, who brought 2 kids to our relationship, and we'd already had freedom at the time, was a newborn or close to newborn. She was dumping out change out of a deep rock change container so we could go get groceries. And I remember we got $82. Went to King Soopers changing it, came back out to the car. He was like, hey, we got $82. I saw a homeless guy over by the carts in front of the King Soopers, which is kind of rare in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I went and gave him some money for groceries, gave him $20. And she's like, no, don't give him 5. We need it for us. I was like, nope, Universal provide. Anyway, did. I started a meetup group. I think 2 or 3 people came to my first meetup, just provided value on SEO and Facebook marketing. Ended up growing that meetup group to like 400 people. But I closed my first $1,000 a month client. Things were looking up. Then the worst thing probably that's ever happened to me happened to me. I got a call from my dad on New Year's Day, 2013, said, you better get over your son. Your brother's committed suicide. Hearing my mom wailing in the background, I'm like, oh shit. Like, I've drained my life savings. I got a family of 5 to support. I have no money, but I had faith. Kept moving forward. I actually even used Facebook ads to raise $5,000 for suicide awareness. I took a train across the nation from Colorado to DC, walked overnight in a 16, 17 mile walk. Actually used Facebook ads to target people that had suicide awareness interests. And I actually saved a life. A woman reached out and said, I saw your video on your brother and I was going to kill myself and I didn't. So it was just kept turning things into a positive. Challenges changed. My dad passed away a year and a half later, end of marriage, end of 2015. Not telling you this to ask for pity. What I'm telling you this is, no matter where you're at in business or life right now, no matter how challenging it is, if you persevere, you're going to make it through. Keep your focus on where you want to go, turn everything into a positive, keep going. So to lighten things up a little bit after that story, some fun facts about me. Got my black belt in karate at age 12. I'm a Tabasco fanatic, Spanish speaker. I got to sing mass in St. Peter's Basilica, which is the Pope's church in Rome, on a choir tour there. I get up every day, or at least all weekdays, to meditate, practice guitar, and hit the gym. My 10-year-old son, Freedom, now goes with me every day before school at 5:30 on his own accord, which makes me super proud. I had some courage to post a picture here. Is this my senior photo of Vanilla Ice? You decide.
That looks exactly right.
I think that was probably my goal at the time. I got to meet this. I got to meet the surviving members of the Doors in 2004. That's where they were. I had spent $500, which was a lot of money to me at the time, on a backstage pass, front row seat, and that's Ian Astbury, the Cult, who was lead singer for the time. As you can see up here, if you can see my picture, which you probably can at the time, when we go back to full screen, I got the first and last studio album by the Doors, signed by Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and Ian Astbury, the Colt, who signed the back right corner, Jim Lives, with a peace sign, which I thought was really respectful and cool. Season tickets to the Broncos for 13 years. There's me and my late brother that I just mentioned, one of many Bronco games that we were lucky to survive that period. We got an old Ford van and cruised down to every single Broncos game, 60 miles to Denver, with a keg in the back and a couch in the back, and good times. I have an old family silver mine cabin up on Independence Pass above Aspen, Colorado. Picture that coming shortly. I spread my dad's and brother's ashes up there. Really cool spot up close to 13,000 feet. Went skydiving for my 40th birthday. I'll probably never do that again, but I can say I did it. There's the old family mine picture. The Cairn stones of my dad's over a High Mountain Lake, dad's and brothers. And then favorite place I ever visited was Nyaca Falls in Costa Rica. I took that picture as I came out of the jungle into the falls. So let's get into the content. Enough about me, more about you. And here are the 7 aspects of a successful scalable ecom business have in common. This is from my own clients over the years, and this is also from my current one of my current gigs as lead media buyer. We've now purchased, I think, over 25 companies, actively scaling quite a few of those. And so over time, I kind of like, what is the commonalities in the ones that do well versus the ones that don't? And here they are. There we go. They have a subscription model, reoccurring automatic revenue. Get a buyer month 1, and you have money coming in after every month after without having to buy that buyer again.
Well, here's a question for you on that, and we went over this quite a bit. Marty Marion is probably not watching this, but he's a big component on this. And I would have probably, I was a complete opposite until I heard his points, and it made complete sense. Is most people think, hey, hit them with the subscription on the product page. I don't know if we went over this when it was on your call or not. We might have, but you might know where I'm going with this. But a lot of people, and Marty's take on this, who I think is a marketing genius from a buyer psychology standpoint, is a lot of these companies with Recharge or whatever, you go to the product page and you have, subscribe, and you get a discount trying to get people to subscribe, right? But a majority of that traffic, if you're doing ads, is 70, 80% new. Why would somebody want to subscribe to your product when they haven't even tried your product, nor know if they even like it or not? So Marty's big thing was to lessen confusion, because sometimes with some of those brands, when you get like multiple check marks, and especially for supplements, and you have sizes where you can subscribe to 3 bottles or 2 bottles or whatever it is, there's a lot of deterrent in terms of completion towards path to purchase. So his whole philosophy was to move away from that, of having it on the product page, and moving it into more of an email flow of where after they purchase once, or his thing was twice, you send them an email and you say, hey, you're a VIP customer, we're going to let you have a subscription as a privilege, so you don't need to worry about coming back and buying, and get 15% off. What is your thoughts on that? Because I feel like that's the first time I ever heard that, probably 3 weeks ago. I was the complete opposite of what every other marketer that I know does.
Yeah, I would tend to be on the other side of that. I think that was the call that I was on with Marty. It's interesting. I've actually been doing more and seeing more of the opposite. Like, we just vetted a brand to potentially purchase. We ended up not purchasing it, but it was a jewelry brand that had kind of an eco-friendly aspect, an affirmation aspect, but you actually got in there like at a $9.99 a month to be a VIP and actually access the products.
Right.
Which is I was surprisingly, so we're actually switching some of our other brands over to that model, but yeah, I think that makes sense. You get someone in, they test your product.
$10 subscription is different, than like, say, like a 70 or 60, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it goes back to the number 2 here, which is the actually it's 3 or 4, but low entry price product. So I think it's interesting. I think that makes sense what Marty says, and I think it's definitely something to be tested versus the other way around, and see what, in the end, which I'll go into more in this presentation, is like, it's all about buying profitable lifetime value customers. That's what it all boils down to. And people spend so much time on ROAS and daily ROAS and KPIs and all this stuff, and it's really all about how many people can you buy as a profitable lifetime value customer, and how can you increase the stick rate. And sell them more product, which number 2 is uncompetitive niche, an avid tribe, and a large potential reach. Our commonalities I've seen: exceptional creative, especially video and UGC, and exceptional creative development as well. In this day,
On the average tribe piece, sorry I interrupt because I'm rude.
Yeah.
On the avid tribe piece, you mean like loyalty program and building a community around that, or
Just really passionate about the niche they're in. Like it wouldn't fit uncompetitive niche, but like I marketed for a couple baseball brands, like baseball gloves and actually three baseball brands, like a thing you put on your thumb to be able to hit farther. Like baseball fans are very avid, but if it fits into this model, like uncompetitive niche, like one of the best brands we're scaling right now is a jewelry brand that's kind of for women 18 to 25 or 18 to 30. They're very independent thinkers, almost gothish tattoos, like, and they're a very avid tribe of really wanting to be seen and really wanting to be independent and things like that. So looking for that avid tribe around the products revolving around their belief systems and core
Right.
desires.
Got it.
Yeah, so exceptional creative and creative development. The low entry price product, like almost all brands we've been able to successfully scale. Another one on number two is like goat milk soap, organic goat milk soap did really well. Like people that like organic. And it also followed number four, low price entry product. Obviously you got to get AOV up, but you get people in there like, oh shit, it's only $5. I'll buy this. And then all of a sudden they're buying more because, as you know, the dopamine and endorphins are flowing as soon as they swipe that card, and you sell them more while they're in that buy state. Number five is superior fulfillment, customer service, inventory management. Like the rest can't work unless you have that. And then the ability to optimize revenue. That's a lot of times as an scaling agency, we come in and we can look at things and optimize AOV and LTV right away, turn a business that's kind of struggling into a profitable business and scale it. And also conversion rate. Optimizing that conversion rate is going to do huge things for you. Talk about that more in a bit. And then capital for inventory and capital for ad scaling. Run into a lot of situations with clients where I get them to do a scaling point, but they don't have inventory. They don't have their ad capital for scaling. So need to think about bringing, that's what we do as an e-commerce scaling agency. We bring investors to help pay operational costs and scaling costs, and they get a great return, a guaranteed return, and then it can also benefit from the sale. So any questions? I don't know if we have live or if you have anything, just jump in if you do.
No, I've been interrupting abruptly.
Cool. all good, man. So what's working best overall now? I could share a lot of things, but because of time constraints, I'm going to kind of show the cream of the crop. Wide open targeting. I don't think I ever thought I would say this, but wide open targeting is really getting to be what you need to be shooting for. Literally age, gender, and location targeting. I've actually been doing this since about 2014. Back when I started doing my first super high ad spends, like $20,000 per day per product. It was something I just tested, thinking that if we had a seasoned pixel, we could probably do this. It's been working. It's working more than ever now, though, is the thing. You want to let the algorithm, AI, and the machine learning do its thing. You don't want to control it. CPMs are lowest on wide open targeting. You don't want to pay premiums for lookalike and interest that fatigue and then run out of reach. Your ads will create their own learning and target different avatars. It's scalable. It can run for years. I've literally got wide open targeting with post ID ads that are super dialed in that have running for 3 or 4 years now with clients. Like literally never run out.
You said something there. If anybody listens to it and they know me, they'll be like, "Why didn't you say something?" You said season a pixel. Are you a believer in seasoning the pixel?
Yes and no.
And here's why, because a lot of I can't remember her name. Oh, she does TikTok. I can't remember her name, but we kicked her out of Adleaks. But neither here nor there. But she was a big component of pixel seasoning pixel, and any of I don't know, Tim Bird says the same thing that I do, but essentially pixel is just a script, right? It's a piece of code, and all of that is a highway of information from your site to the ad account, and all of your learnings are stored in the ad account. Your pixel doesn't actually hold learnings, but it's it could be the seasoning for the ad account, I guess, if you want to say that. But
Yeah.
I don't know your thoughts on that, but that stood out to me with what you had said.
Yeah, I would be aligned with you on that. I guess seasoning pixel is more of a term of just more seasoning or warming up the machine, letting Facebook
Right.
as designed for machine learning do its thing. So now as far as seasoning that, I mean, I'll talk about this a little more, but sometimes I'll still run a 1, 2, 3% lookalike just to kind of get that machine learning going, to give the algorithm an idea, just especially in a little bit lower budgets. But I mean, the goal here is always wide open, age, gender, location. But you want to really start looking at Facebook as a way to buy profitable LTV customers, and be the main driver of an omni-channel approach. You want to look at your blended MER, and you don't obsess over daily platform CPAs and ROAS. It makes us look good as marketers, but it's just ego. Really, you want to look at what can Facebook drive directly and what can Facebook drive on other platforms. So that's crucial. Increase your LTV and your second purchase rate. You'll run a solid, long-term, healthy business. That'll be much easier to run too than trying to constantly fight and duplicate lookalikes and interests and chase those CPAs. I'm also a big believer in less retargeting these days. I don't run a lot of retargeting anymore. I let the prospecting campaigns handle the retargeting. For those that are opposed to that, fine. But if you don't think the prospecting campaigns do that, then look at your frequency. If it's over 1, your prospecting campaigns are doing retargeting for you. And the nice thing is, if you don't exclude things, it actually can help that learning process. The algorithm knows who a buyer is.
I was just going to make that comment. We actually had that question had come up in one of our mastermind calls, but there's obviously a certain amount of data that Facebook needs at the ad set level, ad set, campaign, and account level to be able to optimize. But primarily in this scenario, it'd be an ad set level. So when you actually don't exclude and keep your bottom of funnel separate from your middle of funnel and your middle of funnel separate from your top funnel, you're actually getting more purchase frequency and velocity in those ad sets, which then can help things trigger better machine AI learning in a lot of cases.
Absolutely. Very true. I don't even often exclude purchasers anymore. Even 30-day purchases, I leave them in, because the way I look at it, if you're running a good brand and you're following those 7 principles I just shared, you got a superior product and customer service, you want your ads to hit those people, because they're going to load that post with social proof and say, hey, this was a great product. So you want that type of thing. Okay, so I want to share. I know sometimes as marketers, it's hard to be what do I run? What's the sequence of I bring on a new client or I start a new brand? What do I actually run as far as campaigns? And this is what I've kind of whittled down to over the years. And I'll go through these, and I'll go through each one briefly. Because of time constraints, I didn't show screenshots. I'm going to assume that most people watching this has a basic understanding of Facebook ads, and if not, you can go to the vault, or you can kind of search through the group to find answers to actual how to do some of the stuff. So number 1 is PPE, post-page engagement campaign. Number 2 is video views campaign. Number 3 is dynamic creative conversion campaign. 4, post ID conversions. 5, dynamic product ad or catalog sales conversion campaign. So post-page engagement, this is something I don't see a lot of people do, but it's actually really important, not for the reasons that Facebook says it's important. I mean, they're just trying to get you to spend ad spend, say whatever, 5% of budget on post-page engagement. That's just kind of for them to make money, but there is actual benefits to this. So you want to create an engagement objective, select conversion location on your ad, and then engagement type post engagement. I run 4 ad sets. You can also run, because you want to run Facebook and Instagram separately. This kind of depends on if your brand already has a lot of organic content on your page or not. I'm assuming it does have a decent amount, but sometimes I'll run, instead of 4 ad sets, I'll run 2 different campaigns, one for Facebook, one for Instagram. This case, for simplification, I just did 1 campaign with 4 ad sets. So you want to go Facebook wide in 1 ad set, Facebook retargeting, all brand aware, and that's going to be video viewers, engagers, website visitors, purchasers. And when I say purchasers, I mean Klaviyo integration purchasers, Shopify integration purchasers, Pixel purchasers, and your customer list upload purchasers. And then you do the same for Instagram. 1 wide ad set, 1 brand aware. I put 30 to 50 ads in each ad set. 50 is the max. Super small budgets work fine here. Some of the benefits of this campaign: warms up the page, increases the page quality engagement score, lowers your CPMs on conversion-based ads. It helps you identify your best performing content. If you come into a new client or a new brand, you're like, I don't even know what to run. Like, just throw it all in a campaign, and the cream's going to rise to the top and give you ideas on conversion, ad creative development. Build social proof. So it builds iOS 14 immune retargeting audiences. So when you do retarget, you do have a really sizable audience. It's not depleted. And it makes sure your organic content gets seen by brand aware and cold traffic alike. Your organic reach is maybe 2 to 4% of page fans these days, probably closer to 1, if that. And if you have a client, if you're an agency or a consultant, boutique agency, whatever, it shows immediate progress results. If you're kind of dialing in conversion campaigns, you can say, hey, look, I've increased your followers by this. These posts are getting, just because people like to see results and gives them the impression something's being done. Yep. Pro tip: identify the best performing posts, pause the rest, keep adding more posts as they keep going up on the page. That way your best, lowest cost per engagement, top 3 to 5 ads are running. And then also watch your gender retargeting. I run swimwear brands and yoga pants brands and things like that. And if you're targeting men too, you're going to get a lot of construction type whistlers like, hey, you're hot, da 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 da. You can maybe do that in the beginning for social proof, but cut that off so you're only hitting your avatar.
You'd be surprised on that too, because we run a lot of women-centric brands, like what you're saying, and there's a lot of men that do purchase for. You'd actually be surprised when you don't exclude men. And a lot of times, we'll actually see a lot of just as good success or better success. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, let the data speak. As far as the engagement campaigns, it kind of gets overwhelming, and I'm sometimes afraid that. I mean, one is brand perception. 2 is I don't want to be like loading data into the ad account that's not the actual engager that we want or the actual purchase we want. So yeah, good point. Yeah, let the data really tell the story. Again, video views campaign. You select video views instead of post engagement. On video views, I only run 2 ad sets. I do wide all placements. Male, female 18 plus, or age, gender, location. And then I do 1 retargeting all brand aware. I do a dynamic creative that's fully filled out, all 10 videos, 5 headlines, 5 texts. Again, smaller budgets work fine. Has the same benefit as engagement ads, warms up the page. It also helps you identify best performing videos, headlines, and copy to develop. Gives you some indicators what might work on conversion-based ads. Dramatically increases brand awareness at a discount. I typically see 2 cents per through play, 15-second video view. Quickly builds iOS immune retargeting audiences. Educates viewers at a discount. I'm actually even seeing close to full length 95% video views on a 60 to 90-second video at $1 to $2. Those can be retargeted. If you're working for a client, again, it shows immediate progress. One pro tip that's super important, really pay attention to this, or you're wasting your video views dollars. Only select Facebook and Instagram placements, as audience network will hijack your budget and burn it for no good reason, and not put those people on the audiences. So let's see how we doing on time, Justin.
We got as long as we need. I mean, if you have to keep it an hour, but we're good for it.
I'll try to keep it to an hour, but I just want to try to get through everything. People can, if I'm moving too fast, they can come back, watch it again. So dynamic creative is number 3, is we're kind of moving towards the goal of getting into scalable ads. We start to dip into conversion campaigns here. Want to make sure and toggle on dynamic creative at the ad set level. In this campaign, I have 2 ad sets. In ABO, one is wide open placements, male, female, 18 plus. One is retargeting brand aware. I fully fill out the dynamic creative again here, like 10 videos, 5 headlines, 5 texts, 3 to 5 call to action buttons. You'll hear some gurus say 3, 2, 2, like 3 creatives, 2 headlines, 2 copy. I fill it out. Let's see, minimum $150 a day on your cold traffic ad set is a good starting point. 250, 300, 500 usually work as well. Just depends on your budget and goals. You want to use some validation from your past conversion ads. from your PPP and video views campaigns to decide what to use as your creative and copy. Make sure to include some AI written copy, some competitor similar copy, testimonial long form, and benefits copy. And then use a combination of creatives, including UGC, testimonial, product, and brand style videos and images. Benefits, it's going to help you identify winning combinations of copy, headline, creative for use in later post ID and dynamic product ad campaigns. This is an instance where I will sometimes still use lookalikes. Like if we have a lot of buyer data, I'll use a one CBO times 3 with 1, 2, and 3 just to give the pixel or ad account some season. It may take a few iterations. You may have to do the 1, 2, or 3 times to really find some true winners to pull into post IDs. Don't be afraid to use multiple CTA buttons in these dynamic creatives. You'd be shocked at how play game and watch more sometimes out convert shop now or learn more. Like, it's crazy. I don't know why it is, but they do often win. And then a pro tip here, make sure you give this campaign at least 8 to 10 days before making any decisions at all. A fully filled out dynamic creative campaign has about 600 different possible ad combinations just on what you're providing. Facebook now, with its expanded creative and copy, is going to add more to that. So give it time. And then you can leave that campaign running indefinitely if it's profitable, buying profitable lifetime customer journeys. So post IDs. If you don't know what a post ID is, it's just a single image or video, headline, and copy. Again, 2 ad sets minimum, wide, and retargeting, all brand aware. Ads are the top 3 to 5 post ID combinations from dynamic creative campaigns. Make sure and compare how cold and warm traffic performed. Probably stick more with how the cold performed when you're on the dynamic creative. Some of the benefits, it'll get you on your path to identifying what I call super ads that I mentioned run 3 to 5 years, load immense amounts of social proof. I've got a baby brand where we've got like 6, 7, 8,000 shares, tens of thousands of comments, hundreds of thousands of reactions. That's important when new people see that ad for social proof. It'll keep compounding, so make sure and duplicate those post IDs into new ad sets. The better it gets, the better it gets. You'll need to start testing different budgets on ad sets if you want to scale these. Like, not always $500 a day is going to work starting out on a wide open ad set. So, but the goal is to get wide. And then the pro tip here, if certain post IDs in the PPE campaign perform exceptionally well, just use them right here, pull them in, add a shop now button to them, and keep them going and see if they convert like they do in a posted page engagement campaign. If you need some more social proof, pull that post ID, conversion post ID back into a PPE and maybe retarget hot buyers to get some good comments and load it with social proof. And then the last campaign I moved to is dynamic product ads. These are the cream of the crop right now for me across multiple brands. Again, wide open in one ad set, and then retargeting all brand aware in another. Make sure to use your product catalog connected to your shops and a product set, all products. You can, if you're advanced, you can get further into that. But what I do here to test is I will create 4 to 7 text versions within one wide open ad set, and then find a winner for later use. Product name is headline, product description is your description, product description, and shop now is a CTA. Benefits, it's going to get you insanely inexpensive CPMs on cold traffic. I'm seeing as low as $3 right now in cold traffic, US based traffic. Haven't seen that since like when I first started in 2010 or 11. They're ultra scalable. They get the products, the right products in front of the right people, and they respond well to 10 to 20% daily budget increases. They also start well at higher budgets. Automatically pull products with inventory and stock from Shopify. Now, your pro tip here is to make sure your Facebook and Instagram shops are optimized and congruent with your website. Also, these ads will help identify your top selling products, which can then be developed in post ID ads. And make sure and keep your best sellers in stock or your performance will decline. All right, those are the 5 different campaigns I run. Any questions, comments, input, divine revelations?
The only thing I know that came up when you're talking about post IDs, and honestly, I don't even do this anymore because I'm not the one building the ads as much as what I used to. So I personally don't even know how to do this. But with the dynamic, one of our members was struggling with. She basically gave up on it, but I think she figured it out. But with the dynamic post IDs, when you're running these dynamic ad sets, there's a way, I guess, to go in and get like a specific string or something of the URL for that certain ID of that dynamic, and then take that and put it across to just a static ad, I think.
Yeah, I don't really mess with that. I think there could be a way to do that. I just manually look at the data, and sometimes you win by dynamic creative breakdown, you can see what actually won. So it's a little bit more intuitive. And then if you preview that dynamic creative, the preview tip Facebook will show us typically the best performing combination as Facebook sees it.
Apparently there's a way to get that post ID. I know Alex knows, and Phoenix probably knows, and she could explain it to us, but there's a way to, and probably everybody knows but me because I'm stupid at some stuff, but apparently you can get that specific string for that one ad and then carry over the social proof, I think, into a regular ad.
Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing some content on that too. So yeah, if you can do that, all the better as well, because social proof is great. Best way to scale ecom ads right now, wide open again. Use your website plus shops option. Facebook's actually starting to default to it. There's kind of 3 different levels right now. You want to test different starting budgets. I usually test like a 2,500, 250, 500, 1,000, just to see what kind of the max threshold to start at is, where Facebook will dial in right away. If you have high starting budgets work, you can scale those vertically. If they don't, you're going to need to duplicate it across multiple wide audiences, which you should be finding on overlap with wide audiences. And then, unfortunately, Facebook's best practice increases are working the best right now. I see 10 to 20% every 1 to 2 days work well to reduce your time spent. Go set an automated rule to do that on profitable ad sets. You want to test DPA versus DC versus dynamic creative versus post ID campaigns to see what scales best in your ad account. And then scaling horizontally, if you start getting up there towards 500, 1,000, one ad set doesn't work, scale back the same way, 15 to 20% every 1 to 2 days. That's working fine. And then another structure I've been using is working really well now, actually, on a shop ads credit I'm running. I've run quite a few $25,000 shop ad credits and many $10,000 ad credits Facebook gave out. But if you've got a lot of existing super ad post ID winners, do 3 ad sets. They're all going to be wide open, broad targeting. Each ad set has 4 to 6 unique post IDs for a campaign total of 12 to 18. It's like a 3-headed monster, like Medusa, and can find, there's no fatigue, let it dial in, scale with the same increases above. You can actually start this pretty high, especially if you got a lot of social proof. And then you can also test this with bid cap, cost cap. I prefer auto bid right now to everything. It's worked the best for me since I was 14. But if you want to set a $10,000 a day budget, like 5 times your budget, kind of like Tim's sneak attack, you can do that, but set a bid cap and a cost cap, whatever cost per result, whatever they call it now, a little bit below your target CPA or break even CPA, and see if it works. And then, as always, surfing still works if you've got enough spend and enough sales happening. And I won't go into that. If you want to buy one of Tim's masterminds, I think they're in the vault now, actually, for free.
Surfing is, yeah, they should all be in there.
Yeah, so check that out. So number 1 takeaways for today: run website plus shops ads wide open, especially DPA. No exclusions on those ads, and just let the machine learning do its work. Test the different starting budgets, see where the maximum ad set budget is. To scale, lift budget 10 to 20% every day or 2. Set an automated rule. Only hone these campaigns by tightening your platform replacement, like Instagram or Facebook, and then your conversion device, say iOS, and then age. If you're noticing purchases coming in like 18 to 34, 35, dial down to that and see how it does. Look less daily at ROAS and more at LTV and second purchase rate. See Facebook as the driver, as an omni-platform approach, and don't work so damn hard. Like, quit trying to chase CPAs, quit duplicating things over and over and over. Just let one or two ad sets and machine learning AI work for you, reduce your retargeting and testing, and build a profitable business and enjoy your life. A few other quick tips: auto bid working best. I said that. Things are taking much longer to optimize. Give the algorithm room to breathe and learn. Look at results over longer windows, 7 days minimum, 30 days better. Be ready for Apple's expanded platform to come out. Be a first mover there. Anytime a new platform comes out or expanded platform comes out, adoption rate is low and auctions aren't saturated. There's potential for huge results. I know you know a thing about Spark Ads, Justin. Test Spark Ads, like expand outside of Facebook a little bit and see what it does compared to Facebook. Look at TikTok from an MER.
What is your experience with TikTok when you compare it to CPAs of Facebook?
Not as good typically.
Yeah,
not as good, but it's even more so about the creative than Facebook. So if you don't have good creative, like, you're probably not going to be able to do anything on Facebook. But
Right.
Facebook's still the king to me.
Yep.
But TikTok can actually be a good indicator of what's going to work on Facebook. You pull it over to Facebook and it works really well, sometimes in feeds, oftentimes in stories, reels. So when the goal is to bring in profitable lifetime journeys, like maybe TikTok does that as well, or close to well as Facebook, and get everything you can get, because TikTok maintains that 40% of people on TikTok can actually be reached on Facebook. So then leverage your social organic video across TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram feeds, reels, and stories. Like, have a VA put that up on all your platforms, review the data, and then curate the content specific to the platform. But one video can be used on all those platforms.
I mean, isn't Instagram and Facebook's user base way bigger than TikTok's?
Yes.
So how do they even come up with that metric?
I don't know. I guess they're saying that there's people on TikTok that no longer participate in Facebook and Instagram.
I don't even know how they would be able to even validate that information. That's
Yeah.
throwing shit at the wall, but
yeah. Another interesting stat that have you ever heard a number from Facebook on actually how many people opted out of ad tracking?
I want to say it was like 90%.
Yeah, I had, last I heard, Facebook had said they're not going to share that data, but then I was on with that the owner of that platform I told you about, OptimizeX, that's supposedly the fixed iOS 14. I'm testing and starting to see some pretty good results actually. He said the number was 81% opt-outs.
Yeah, I've heard that around 80 to 90. I would have thought around the 90 mark, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. So I also, for those of you that want to stay profitable and successful, get into AI. I've been doing a lot. I'm learning prompt engineering. I can write blog posts on your website for you really easily. It's the future. It's the present. If you don't learn this, you're gonna miss it, and you're gonna be replaced. Like I think at some point, it's already through machine learning, but you're gonna be able to push a button, incorporate all the data ever on every ad platform, and it's gonna create the best performing video or ad for you, best performing copy. I haven't been able to. I know Alex in the group did a test on this, and AI wasn't able to beat him and his copywriters yet. I actually have a winner, like in a yoga brand, that I took what AI told me, I incorporated my own thoughts, and it's actually the winner. So really interesting what it can do, but don't get left out. Multivariate testing to improve your conversion rate is always a must. Like, that's Tim's secret weapon. Like, he says he can always increase conversion rates by 30 to 50% by bringing in multivariate testing. VWO, Google Optimize, is going away, so I recommend VWO. Revenue optimization, AOV, LTV. And then, I think revenue optimization is maybe the most important thing you can do. We'll never be able to control Facebook or any platform, but we can control what happens with the traffic when it gets to us. So increase your conversion rate, your AOV, your LTV. You can dig more into that. And I just want to end with a few ways to increase your AOV. That increase your shipping $1 to $3. The $1 increase on shipping can have a drastic effect, especially at the lower price products. You may have to lower your threshold. If you have a threshold on free shipping, say it's 50, you may need to bring that back down closer to your actual AOVs. Bundles and upsells, obviously. The best way that I'm seeing on brands right now is to offer a free gift that relates to your product at a threshold. So One jewelry brand I'm running right now is a free heart-shaped jewelry box in February for jewelry orders over 50. It's increased AOV versus January in the same period by 16%.
We also
and a
have
ninja.
sorry, I was gonna say on the bundles and upsells, watch Marty's videos on that we've been doing the last 6-7 weeks. We've done quite a few of them. That's basically what that is all on.
Nice,
So
absolutely. Yeah, he's a super sharp dude.
ugly.
And then a ninja way to do it is to offer an upsell on the order confirmation email. That email is going to get like a 90 to 95% open rate. Like, add something to that, like while they're still in that dopamine endorphin state, and make it irresistible.
Yep.
Looking forward, few points. You're going to see increasing intelligence of the algorithm and machine learning and the integration of artificial intelligence more and more. Virtual reality and integration of the metaverse, at least the attempt to. And then you'll continue to see government attempts at regulation.
Yeah.
And then just closing out a few book suggestions that were huge game changers for me. One is Cash Advertising. One is Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Cialdini. And Get the Life You Want by Richard Bandler, and the co-founders of NLP. Yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. And anyone, thanks for your time and energy and watching. Thank you, Justin. And then if you're not connected, feel free to connect with me on Facebook. Shoot me a message if you have a question. I'm a community guide here in Adleaks Platinum. So happy to support you and your success any way I possibly can.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the time. Thank you for putting this together. I know it must have took some time. So what's you want Messenger is the best way to get you? Not email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of suck at email. I get so many emails that I have a hard time keeping it like probably you do.
Yeah. All right. Well, man, I appreciate it. If you have any questions, you know where to find them. And I look forward to seeing you in some more of these small group calls.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for all you do, Justin.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah.
Later. Bye.
Later.